Okay, so if we go back to our little command window here, we don't really need to be on a server anymore because we've done all that. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of there, and it puts it back right here. So it puts in this test-git directory again, that's where I started from. It may not for you. It may put you somewhere else. So what I want you to do is navigate to where this is. And the way you can do it is you just do CD and then just write whatever path it's going to be. Okay. So in this particular case, I'm in C users 17347 test-git. Now, what I'm going to do now, what I've done, my application works. Now I want to take my application and put it on my GitHub account. Because if you look at my GitHub account, we'll go over here, and I got it right here. This is the test-git repo. It has assignments, assignment 1, and the README file. It doesn't have anything else there. And what I want to do is I want to be able to put all those files onto that. I want to basically update that. So there's a couple things that I need to do. The first thing that I want to do is I want to create what's known as a git ignore file. A git ignore file. And what that does is I can tell it to ignore certain folders. Like I don't really want my VSCode folder to be up there because it's going to show that password, even though granted the dbcon file will be up there. I'll show the password. You could, technically omit it, except then I won't be able to diagnose anything. So let me just show you how to do it. Now this is how I do it in PowerShell. You got to look up the commands for creating new files in the other windows, but it's really not that hard. So it's just in PowerShell, it's new item, and then you do a hyphen, and then you have item type, and that is going to be file. Do another hyphen, and you have the name, and that is dot, must have the dot, git ignore, just like that. Okay, and you hit enter, and you can see it created that file for me. Now, here's the easiest way to do it. You could actually just completely command line if you wanted to. But if you just go back into where that is, you're going to see there's the file right there. And it's just a text file. Okay, so if you double click on it, it's just going to open up in Notepad. And here's what you do. You go /.VSCode. So what's going to happen is when I push this stuff to the GitHub repository, this folder will not be included in it. And you can basically omit whatever you want, but I'm just going to omit this because I just don't want that on there. So I'm going to go File, Save, and I'll close that. So I got this git ignore file. Okay? All right, so that's how you do the git ignores. Now, I come back here. I'm in my test git screen right here, so let me go ahead and clear the screen. So I'm up here at test git. Now, what do I want to do? My 4 commands. Git status. That's going to show me what it's going to be doing. Hit the enter key. It's going to be deleting this one, because remember I deleted that assignment 1 folder. Showed you how I did that. Now it's picking up that, and it's going to commit the git ignore file. Perfectly fine to do that, and the PHP MySQL test. You notice it's not doing .VSCode, so it's all working. Okay, so then I do git add, put the dot in there, and I have git commit -m, and remember it's just some message. So I'm just going to write updates because I just always write the same thing. Okay. And then we're going to have git push origin. Now, if you've already done the first video, then it went through that whole login screen thing. You won't have to do that again. It's going to already know it as long as you're on the same computer. You hit that, and it's going to go through a process. And sure enough, it did it. I hope it told me it did. That's what I know it did. So if we go over here, and I go to my test git, and I just click on it to kind of refresh it. Sure enough, there's my PHP MySQL test, my git ignore file, my README. If you go into here, if you open up this folder, there's the folders and files for this. Now, technically, yes, you can read the code you wrote here, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so that is basically how I not only put something on the russet server. So I'm just do a quick recap with our PowerPoint slide here. So I initially had done this. That was in the first 3 videos. I just showed you how you use VS Code to put it on the russet server. You wrote the application and you tested it by writing the proper IP address into the browser navigation bar. All right, and then when we were done with that, what did we do? We created a git ignore file, and we stuck, or not stuck, but we pushed that to the GitHub server. So now that whatever contents we have in this folder are synced to this one. Now, and and understand that the only thing we put on this server right here is just that PHP MySQL file. You don't need VS Code to be on here, and you don't need to have the README file or the get-ignore file on here. It's just that one folder. And if you recall, how I did it is we went into VS Code, and you basically just go to the folder that you want to put up there, right-click, and upload folder. And that's all you need to do. And as you create new things, you'll just start uploading. Once you have that started, it will just, once you save everything, it will just start uploading it automatically. Okay. You could upload the get-ignore if you wanted to, and to README, you just right-click and upload it. Don't upload the VS Code to the russet server. There's no sense in doing that. So anyway, that is basically to show you how you do the second part, which is upload your PHP code to the russet server. That's it.